Shalom. I like to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashemi Hawashai, Bahashem Rakah Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to my Akim, who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so. As well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds or Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as were the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. This is your brother Yakalia from the GMS Jamaica Kingston camp, and this video is about the famine, which is speedily approaching. All right. From the nationwide radio Jamaica.com, Seprod Group CEO urging Jamaica to treat surging food prices as an urgent crisis. And, that's the thing with our people, man. All of these things are happening around the world that are leading towards Bible prophecy. And, these small crises, as people determine them, a lot of people live in this delusion and a sense of comfort where the inflation is happening, the food prices are increasing, and they look at it and they brush it off to the side and they're like, oh, this too shall pass. But we're in these days where no, it's not going to pass. It's just going to continue getting worse. And even with that that other worldwide situation, y'all know what that is, okay? It happens, and then you see these people kind of like get into a certain kind of frame of mind and a little bit of a panic, and then Esau, Edom, the so-called white men, the rulers of this wicked kingdom today, they push it out there heavy, and then they reel it back in, and then they push it back out there and they reel it back in, because that's what's happening right now with that worldwide thing, right? Like over there in China, the lockdowns that are happening, which has millions of people locked down, and it's not really even that there isn't any food, even though the supply chain over there is being broken and has been broken, and that's actually worldwide, but they're over there suffering. You know what I mean? The food is there in a way, but they have to have it delivered, and then there's all kinds of pressure, so people are starting to go hungry and all these kinds of things, and even on the other end of that, we're seeing articles come out which are coming back with that prior narrative where certain people that have taken part in the, how do I say this? Onto the idols, as it says in 2nd Ezra chapter 16, I believe, given onto certain idols. People have done that, and then there are people who haven't, but now they're coming in even harder now and more obvious and more mainstream, where they're targeting the people who haven't bowed down to those idols. So things are just going to keep getting worse, man. And this famine truly is, it's trickling in. It's something that's gradually happening. And I mean, that's just how history is. When you look at the time, even when our people that ruled during the so-called Dark Ages, when you look at the history of that and how our people started to lose power, it really did take a good amount of time, But now are the days where we can very clearly see, as we measure the time diligently, as, is ordered for us to do, we can clearly see what's going on. Okay, so no, this famine isn't something that isn't going to happen. It will happen in this lifetime, and you people will be suffering from it. All right, the elect will be protected, and the servants of Yahweh Shemishai, which is a part of the elect, shall eat, etc. Okay, so let's just jump into this article. I haven't gone through it as all this is raw. That's how I like to do it. CEO of the Seprod Group of Companies, Richard Pandohi, is urging the country to treat surging food prices as an urgent crisis. Speaking with Nationwide News, Mr. Pandohi says it should be used as an opportunity to ramp up investment in local alternatives as imports become exceedingly costly. And of course, we know that the majority of the food in Jamaica is all imported. Okay, I think the number is like over 80% or something like that. So can you imagine if the imports aren't coming in? The country is literally going to run out of food very quickly. You know, even with the grocery stores, like if I remember correctly, someone said that like it needs the grocery stores are replenished like twice a week, you know, and that's not only in Jamaica, that's like over there in America as well and other places around the world. Okay. He says that we should treat the current situation with the same level of urgency as that other thing. Okay? This is an emergency, the Seprod CEO says. Jamaica's food situation is not one that can simply be managed but must be tackled head on. Leading multilaterals such as the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank have all warned of a looming global food crisis, which is all orchestrated by the wicked elite of Esau Edom, right? Because they know that the food crisis, okay, the famine is really going to get a lot of you people to bow the knee and to take the ultimate thing, which is going to be that Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, okay, 17, 18, you know, that mark of the beast. All right, that's their ultimate goal. That's why everything is happening. All right, they want to implant you people with the microchip. All right, and specifically targeting you Israelites. Okay, and then of course there's a judgment for that written in Revelation chapter 14, verse 9 and 10. The effects of this is already being felt with rising inflation resulting in skyrocketing prices. That is true. We're literally feeling that. I literally go to whatever restaurant or whatever else, and I feel the different the price increase. Okay, and not only are the prices increasing from on the food, it's also like the gas and everything. Okay, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization has already noted an over 30% in global commodity prices compared to this time last year, which is huge. Mr. Pendo, he says, in times like this, it's dangerous for Jamaica to be dependent on other nations for the basic food needs. The CEO also says the current crisis presents an opportunity to pivot away from imports. Oh, that's it? Okay, well, shoot. Let's see what this says.
I just believe that as a country we need to move away from saying, Lord have mercy, we're going to know, and just saying, okay, what do we need to do to mitigate this? I don't think we're doing enough. I mean, fertilizer is short globally. The prices are skyrocketing. Farmers won't be able to afford to fertilize their crops, which means that they have lower production and lower productivity. How are we utilizing the animal waste and the byproduct into fertilizing what we have to reduce our dependency on import? Why are we not growing short-term crops knowing that there's a potential food shortage coming? I mean, in terms of...
Okay, well, the fertilizer is another thing. Price increases for the fertilizer, people can't afford it, the crops suffer, all of these kinds of things. So, I mean, these are just the times that we're in, and these articles are just reoccurring, you know? Just constantly coming out. This is Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem. Who's Jerusalem? You Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. And they shall eat bread by weight and with care. And they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. Right. So we're coming into the days, right, before even the famine hits, the way it's going to be hitting. You're going to have where people are going to be rationing. And the rationing is also another tool that Esau Edom is going to be using against you people when it comes to bowing the knee to that mark of the beast. Okay, that microchip. Okay, so you're going to measure by weight, right? Let's go into 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 4, 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Plain and straight to the point. All right, the Lord is bringing serious judgment, and why? For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Right, our people are slated for destruction. Point blank, period. Okay, you have the 2/3 in America that are going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire along with America. All right, and then you have the rest of the Israelites around the world, the wicked unbelieving of our people are going to be destroyed as well. Okay, only the elect of the nation of Israel shall be saved from all of the perils that are to come. Okay, and then this is just another bonus precept, 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22, because we're heading to this point as well. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So anywhere that you can find food, all right, they will be found empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid, right? So the notices are going out, all right, it's going out, man. The warnings, okay, of these things that are going to be coming, and then even not even by way of the prophets, but the world is going to warn and say the famine, we're in a famine, etc. People are going to be panicking. You know, people panic, buy food for any kind of notice that is given out. Okay, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So it's going to be of food and water. And I remember some Edomite once commented on my video, and he's like, well, he looked like an Edomite. He was scoffing though, you know. So I'm just going to take it point blank because, you know, we judge the spirit. And he said something like, you know, there can never be a shortage of water. Delusional. But that's the kind of delusional state that our people are in as well, that they really think that things are just going to always be fine. But no, the Lord Yahweh and the Lord Yahweh Shai, you know, will be bringing this severe judgment to the world very soon, and we're in those times. So, you know, onto the elect members, you know, the hopefully elect rather, you know, repent and seek mercy from Yahweh Shemishai. There's nothing else that we really can do. Okay, so with that, I'd like to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai, Bashem Kodesh, Wa Abad Babal Shalom.